right, so Deuteronomy chapter 28, part 9. Now listen carefully. This overkills why I am Christ. It says in Proverbs, right, a prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son. So once we get to verse 44, it says, they will lend to you, but you will not lend to them. They will be the head, but you will be the tail. All these curses will come on you. They will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed. Okay, so it says they will be the head and you'll be the tail. Why? Because you didn't obey God's commands. And what else? God went to them first. So in the story, the Jews are the first. So there's a lot of applications of the first will be last and the last will be first. One of them is the Jews were the first to receive this covenant from God in the form that they did. But because they didn't follow the rules, and all the prophets, chastised them. Obadiah, Hosea, Amos, okay, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Zechariah, Zephaniah, Joel, you name it. They all chastised them. Nahum, Malachi. They said they're doing the wrong thing. And therefore, the kingdom of heaven is taken away from them and given to someone who produced its fruit. So I am the head, they are the tail. And it goes on to say, all these curses will come on you. They will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed. And that's what happened with martial arts. Because I'm right with God and they try to lead me astray, instead of just admitting that I have the fruits, the generational righteousness, the generational righteous deeds, okay, I overtook them. In fact, I always overtook them because it was always the formula. And the prophets are explaining it to them in a way that they can understand, because they wanted to be chosen so bad. And when you choose the devil, right, when people choose the devil, they basically choose that because they want something. They want to be important, they want sex, they want money, whatever they want. So they, the prophets knew that these people were going to do the wrong thing. That's why they predicted the end would come. And, in Jeremiah 51, what have you, in Isaiah 66, they predicted that the end was going to come. Amos, all of them predicted it, because they knew that it was in their heart, their callous and insensitive heart, their insensitive heart, their unfeeling heart, their selfish hearts, that they were going to insist on being important. So he described it in a way that said you could be chosen. He tried to communicate. They tried to communicate to them that at that point they might very well overtake the Royal African Falcon Martial Art Order if they did the right thing and moved masterfully, but they did not do it. So they told them what they needed to know to give them every chance to do the right thing, and they refused. I think that is the optimum way to interpret this when we consider Amos 9:7. This says, are you not the same as the Cushites unto me? It says you have the same chance, but you didn't bear fruit. You didn't have a Martin Luther King Day from doing the right thing as those who were enslaved by those people doing the wrong thing. You didn't have the heart of hearts. The Lord is a warrior and he weighs the heart in Proverbs. Proverbs 21 and Proverbs 16. God is weighing the heart and motives. What are the motives? Your motives are you just trying to look good? You're just trying to make your family look good. You want your kids to cheat the righteous. Now that you have generational afflictions of mind, you then use poisons and technology to afflict people's brains so you can pretend to be important. When God weighs those motives, what happens? What happens is they sink lower and lower, just like it says here in Deuteronomy 28. It says that they will rise higher and higher and you will sink lower and lower. And it makes it clear that the Cushites were people who were strange to the Israelites. They were used to dealing with the Amorites and the Jebusites and the Philistines and the Assyrians and Babylonians, but they weren't quite aware of who the Cushites were. Africa was the dark continent to them in terms of them not understanding who these people are. Yet Amos said it flat out. He said, are you not the same as the Cushites unto me, O children of Israel? And when you read these prophets, it's like they're all black, because the way they speak, the way they think is more like a black person who's going against the grain, who's upset, than a Jewish person from New York or Tel Aviv or Israel or wherever, okay, who just simply leverages their privilege and unfairly cheats people. See, God is a warrior, not a meek scientist, not a Freemason, okay? It is a warrior system. Not a Western boarding school system, not an English royal system, not a French royal system. It is an Afro-Asiatic language, and the Lord is a warrior. So it is an African spirit, and it is a noble spirit. It is a disciplined spirit. It is righteousness, and then there's persecution, and there's a bunch of people who are trying to confuse you, like Nebuchadnezzar is said to do. They try to confuse everybody, and they even overstep their boundaries, and they try to confuse you about who I am, where the devil didn't quite do that in the Bible. When Christ told him to get away from him, he did. I commanded these people to stop persecuting me. They did not. They overstepped the boundaries of their own theater art script. That's how low they sink. They sink lower and lower. And they as in the spirit of the ancient serpent, the devil, the ancient thinking of an ancient snake, okay? They dared to take on God Almighty. And with my top martial arts peaceful and legal challenge, I threw them down like the snake in the Garden of Eden. I said, how dare you try to cheat me in the end? I challenged them. When they responded the way they did, it was the exact motions of somebody being thrown to the ground like a bolt of lightning. That's why it says in the Bible that Satan fell from heaven in a bolt of lightning. That's why they sing the song, everybody was kung fu fighting. Their strikes were fast as lightning. Well, what's faster than a righteous black man filled with the true spirit of God, striking with all of his heart, setting a world record? Okay, Satan was cast the fuck down, tail tucked, in extreme disgrace. And still I rise. And still I'm on fire like the sun. And still I am God's son, uncontested. Just nagged. Nagged is not contested. Just nagged by the immature, but uncontested. I am Christ. I am. I am the good shepherd, trying to go after the lost sheep at the end, if they are smart enough to be saved. I am the wonderful counselor, advising you on what you should do. I am the mighty God, the top martial artist, where there's one God and God is God, but I'm God's son. And so I share the title because I'm the mouthpiece of God, and there's a bunch of worms trying to twist what I'm saying, using technology, snickering like Dick Dastardly from the Wacky Racers and his little dog. But I am Christ Almighty, and mockers do not take that away from me. Naggers do not take that away from me. Scoffers do not take that away from me. I am the Son of God, the top martial artist ever. And anyone who would compare themselves to me and say that they're equal or greater using someone else to do it or otherwise just looks like a complete sniveling beta idiot. There's no other way to look at it. Think about it.